Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome. I'm not too sure what kind of video I'm gonna make today, but felt like kind of making a bit of a ramble. Maybe I have no plan. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I have one thing I wanted to discuss for like 2 seconds. So a few videos ago, I know I did say stuff about how this hardcore, let me just red helmet, there you go. You see it's still on. Oh wait, you can kind of edit that now, can't you? Freaking, I'm a real hardcore still. Listen, you've seen my videos. You know I don't know how to edit, so that's clear proof that that's a red helmet and I don't know how to overlay that shit, alright? So a few videos ago I did talk about how this hardcore eventually might not be a hardcore at some point. My plans for PVMing, before I get into that, I'm hoping, as I said, I think in the wrap-up video, like 2018 or something, I had a long-term plan throughout 2019 of moving out. And getting my own place. So that's going to be hopefully happening in the next month or two. I'm just waiting to pay my taxes. I have to do a whole bunch of extra shit this year, like HST and whatnot. I don't really know how to discuss all of it, but it's going to take a little bit longer than usual. And then I can actually get hopefully a loan from a bank. I think, I don't know if banks have done this yet though or not, because there's so many jobs nowadays online with YouTube, Twitch, everything, just whatever there is. Even other things, even Patreon, dude. I don't even know if that's really does that count? I don't really know, but obviously it's kind of more of a risk factor for a bank to loan you money if you're not really guaranteed money with your job, personal type of jobs, businesses. So yeah, a lot of people my age probably that are moving with the whole digital movement are probably going to have a hard time getting their first house, I would think, unless eventually the banks just realize that it's kind of how it is nowadays in 2019, and it's a bit of a risk for sure, but there's a lot of people that are making a living, I guess, off the internet. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, even though I guess that's what a Ramble video is for. So hopefully that's in the next 2 months or so. I'm not really too sure. I can't really put a time on it, but at that point, I'm hoping to. I'm going to try to get fiber internet. I called some of the ISPs in my area. Most of them have about 75% of my area covered with fiber internet. And I'm going to do the other thing, which most people suggest to do, but very few hardcores do. I'm not too sure why. I don't do it. I don't have it either myself. But I'm going to set up 2 different internet connections, which I believe you can only do through 2 different ISPs. So if you are screwed in, like, I think some places in America only have one ISP available, which is very weird considering it's America. Like, it should, that sounds like some budget ass shit. But where I live, I think I have like 4 to 5, maybe even 6 different ISPs. There's so many small ones popping up, but there's obviously like 3 big ones or 2 big ones and a bunch of small ones. So I guess I'm quite fortunate with having a lot of ISPs in my area. That's a good thing. Now I know very little bit about this, but I do know that you can set up some kind of like a budget ISP kind of connection with like your phone, and it can be your backup internet. You pay you wouldn't get a huge like good deal on it. You would just spend probably $30-40 a month, nothing too crazy. It's not going to obviously be your actual internet connection, so it's just going to be like a small one just to pretty much save your hardcore. It'll kick in when your original, or not your original, your primary, I guess you could call it, internet unplugs itself or disconnects. Unplugs as in if someone steps over a fucking wire or some shit. But at that point, you might just be completely screwed. So yeah, that's one thing I'm going to try to get hooked up to make sure that it works, and I'll make sure I test it so it actually doesn't disconnect me. I thought maybe that means you might have like 1 second of downtime or some shit for it to reconnect, but apparently there's no downtime. It just switches, and it doesn't really, you don't like disconnect in general. So if you are a hardcore and you're PVMing, try to get this hookup. I think you do need to have 2 different ISPs. I don't think you can go with the same one and have 2 different connections with it, apparently. And yeah, my plans on this account are going to be to start doing more PVMing again. I do kind of miss it, obviously. It was a lot of fun. There is a few recent disconnections that have happened, not even the person's internet, it was just Jags in general. Obviously, they didn't do a refund on those hardcores, but yeah, they probably, I don't want to say they should have, and they should always refund a disconnection, but I don't want to get into discussion because it's kind of just a circle jerk of it's never going to happen. It should happen. That'd be great. Too many people probably try to fake it, blah, blah, blah. There's not much more to get into. But yeah, Jags had like a moment of just, I don't know, just every single world disconnected or some shit. They were aware of it. They tweeted about it. And I know one hardcore that did die obviously from it. There's probably a few more, maybe. I'm not too sure. But with situations like that, it's almost like you should definitely give it back. But Yeah, I don't know. They obviously didn't get it back. The main bosses I think I'm going to want to do is, I think Hydra is one I have to do. To get the Lance, it's extremely important for an Iron Man in general, but a hardcore as well, especially a hardcore. I haven't done the math, but I think a Lance would probably save you 1,000 and something hours on a hardcore. I'm not exactly sure, but it's not a small amount of hours. It's quite a bit. Plus, you can save a bunch of Zulra time if you want to just train prayer with that, so... it could save you thousands of hours, potentially, I guess. If you don't have to do any Zulra then. I'm not really too sure, but I guess you can always chin range. I haven't really done the math, but for me, I'm probably going to get range through just blowpiping. I think I'm at like 45 mil. So yeah, Hydra's going to be my first plan. Hey, if I get a T-bow while doing raiding, that'd be great. I definitely don't plan on it, but I would like to obviously have a T-bow for Hydra. It's a lot better. It's a lot more enjoyable in terms of not having to farm the scales forever, so... yeah, Hydra's a bitch when it comes to blowpipe and scales. It's a good weapon to use, but scale-wise, it freaking sucks ass. So that'd be ideal. I need to go to Zammy still to get my first spear. I haven't gotten one yet. I did do like 150 Zammies on like my newbie account down here. I never really died. I just took random risk, obviously, because I'm not a hardcore. But I think I have Zammy quite well down. It's not that hard of a boss, actually. I was flicking the range prayer in between the attacks while walking under it, so I got kind of used to that, which is good. So I'm kind of okay with Zammy, I think. Plus, I didn't use any anglers on my newbie account. I'm going to use anglers on the hardcore, clearly. So I'm even more safe, I guess, with the extra 20 hit points. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to go and finish my my Serb. I am at 1,000 Serb KC, if anyone is wondering. I finished at 1,000 a very long time ago. Haven't gone back since. I've just been more and more scared of disconnection issues. I definitely don't have a stable internet. I think the week after I died, I think I disconnected about 3 times or so. Just completely random. They're even on stream, so that doesn't even count the disconnections I might have while sleeping. The one day I did wake up and I didn't even have Wi-Fi because my internet was just completely fucked up. So I don't know how many times I disconnect while I'm sleeping even, so I could be disconnecting twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm just getting lucky that it's happening when I'm sleeping sometimes. Now, I'm obviously not going to be guaranteed to have a connection still, because Jagex's servers could go down, and that might kill me as well. Or a big lag spike. What's good about lag spikes sometimes is, I don't know exact definition of it, but there's 2 different lag spikes, as you guys probably know. There's one where only you lag, but the game continues going, and the other lag spike, which is a good one, where everything lag spikes, including what you're attacking, and you don't come back to like 10 different attacks on you. So those ones are nice to get, because it's not too bad, because you should be fully alive still. But the other one's a bit annoying, where only you lag, and the game keeps attacking you. So that one's annoying. The only thing I am slightly worried about is I think if I do die, I'm probably going to lose a lot of motivation for my account. If not the account, definitely for the skilling aspect of it, I think. I don't really know, but I think once I die, I'm just not going to find skilling as much fun in the Iron Man. If you guys don't know, the reason I ideally made an Iron Man was just because I didn't really feel good doing skilling on a main account anymore. Just too saturated. It was extremely alt-based and whatnot. It wasn't enjoyable for me. No, there's nothing wrong with alts. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't like it. I preferred just an Iron Man type of skilling. Iron Man is definitely the ideal way of skilling, even though it's been quite catered the past freaking year of updates to it. It was always more ideal for me to just do Iron Man skilling. It's just more practical. Even though there is some ways that you can still abuse an alt on an Iron Man, which I'm hoping Jax, I don't think they're going to fix it. Apparently, you can do Smoke Devils by using a main account with cannon and cannonballs, aggro all the Smoke Devils on your other account, and then your Iron Man has all your Smoke Devils lured for you without wasting any cannonballs. That one I really hope is going to get fixed eventually. If not, I might just start advertising it and just purposely doing it and uploading clips of it and showing how stupid Jax is, and hopefully then they will realize it's dumb and they'll fix it. But apparently they're not going to fix it, so I don't understand why. You shouldn't, I mean, it'd be a very easy fix, I would say, but yeah. And I think there's a few other Slayer ways of doing it in the Catacombs. I'm not too sure. Something with Blood Velds, I think. I don't really know. There's obviously other things too where you can you can basically prevent ever having to use P-Pots on an Iron Man, I think, when doing Slayer. If you don't pray flick, you can just have a main account tank it or something, and your Iron Man will just attack it while it's not focused on you. So you don't have to flick any type of protection prayer. So that's kind of OP too. But yeah, I feel like if I do die, I'll probably end up kind of going a lot more towards PVM base. I think PVM on an Iron Man is extremely enjoyable. I think I've noticed a lot of main accounts that PVM as well start playing Iron Man, and they realize it's also very enjoyable for PVMing. This sounds so fucking anti-main and pro freaking pure Iron Man. It's one of those things, you just gotta get into it, then once you're good, you'll realize it's actually a lot more enjoyable. I don't know why. It sounds very dumb, but that's just how it is. I think I'm actually almost done this place. I think I gotta get 480 points, I'm pretty sure, for the Master one. I'm still working on the Master one. I have been playing a bit less and less. If you check my EHP ever, it's been really going down, like probably 30 hours a week, I think, and even a million XP or like 10 EHP maybe is like nightmare zone sometimes, even, because I just I don't know, I've just been lazy lately. I think I'm not burnt, I'm just I don't know, not motivated maybe? Not burnt, but not motivated. That's a good way of looking at it. Okay, I do think that's it. Let me go double check. So I need to just do the worst part now, which is the graveyard. Or not the graveyard, the telegrab. So 4,800, 485. Yeah, so I need 480 tellies. Oh, that's so bad, dude. Oh my god. I had to upgrade it. I've never actually done this in my life before where you upgrade them. I always thought you just buy the master one, but that's not how it is. Alright, since we're here, I guess I can show you guys a small update on the Herblord tab. I'm not sure, I'm going to obviously do this before I start PVMing, because, I mean, you may as well. There's no difference as a regular Iron Man or a hardcore. So, this is the current update on all my herbs. I've obviously been slacking on herb runs as well. During my, like, 5 to 6 hour live stream, I do one herb run, because I'm doing raids most of the time right now. And I don't want to inconvenience my team too much by doing, like, a full herb run. So, I try to do just farm contracts out of respect, because I'm a nice guy. But yeah, everything's aligned together. So there's Toadflax, Snapdragons, this one's Candidine, yep. Quorums, which I have all the limp roots for, thank God. Regular Necreals saved me a lot of time, even though they're not even worth doing anymore. Aventos, I've slowly been farming these recently. 50,000 Irates almost, which is fantastic. And 8,800 Snapegrass and Renars. I gotta clean these. This is from Kingdom, I think. I do keep my Hairlander seeds. I just don't know if I'll farm too many of them. It's worth farming if you don't have any other seeds, but with farming contracts, you normally do have a lot. Seed-wise, Toadflax has been 4,400 for a long time, mostly from Slayer, obviously. Necreals and shit. Lanodyme, Renar, Kadine, Dwarf, Torstal, Snaps, and then just, yeah, so that's about it. I also need to get an acorn seed now from the freaking farming contract. I got like Pong, Curry, then acorn. So farming contracts are annoying. Today was supposed to be the Seed Vault update, but I think the JMod that was working on it quit or something. I don't really follow much lately about the whole team and stuff. It's a big ass team now, but either they quit or was it Aiza maybe working? No, I don't think Aiza was working on it. That's probably too long ago. I don't know who was working on the Seed Vault thing, but it didn't come out today. Though we did have the compost thing, the sandstone mining come out, which is quite a nice update. I did like 2 minutes of it. It was nice. Took a long time to find a world. It seems like it went from hopping from charter ships to hopping to find mining worlds, which is going to be fun. I'm hoping the hype eventually dies down, but I don't even know if it will or not, because I mean, it's the same as just charter ships. You just have to find an open world now, so it seems like the whole thing they were trying to avoid kind of it's a problem again. So I don't know if they're going to spawn more areas of mining sandstone where you can have like 5 people do one world at the same time, but currently it's ideal to only do the one spot and maybe the other spot, but it's not as good. Oh, an update on my where is it? Yeah, there it is. Giant seaweeds at 7,500. I stopped at 50k for a very long time because I just didn't think I was going to do it ever, like anytime soon at least. But yeah, that's what it's currently at. 20 mil base wise. Oh right, the cash stack. Oh right, I gotta mention. Some Iron Man recently actually hit the 1 bill cash stack, so I wasn't really actively going for it, but it was something that I was considering doing. I believe they mined rune ore and just smithed it, which is exactly what I said would be the best way to do it. Which is, I'm actually very happy because now I can go and spend my money. I don't have to worry about saving it because I was getting annoyed by having to save my cash. I was doing like ice bursts instead of barrage for Slayer because I was like, bruh, I don't want to buy more death runes. And yeah, the 20 mil base I'm still working on. I think I have only a few left, mostly like agility and rune crafting. Construction's banked, fishing's done, mining and smithing, or mining's just about to be done. It'll be done with rune crafting, obviously. And smithing is about a mil off, which I think I still have like 50k gold ores or something, or maybe even 60k, because you get some from doing raids. Oh, and I would highly just suggest getting the flippers for doing this. I didn't really ever bother doing it, but it's extremely effective in the water, obviously, no shit. But I'm pretty sure you run faster with the flippers on, or you swim faster than you were to be running. If you can kind of tell, the character just like literally just glitches almost. It's like, that's a quick ass speed, dude, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm not too sure what's after 20 mil base. I think I am going to start doing some crafting, just use up my stuff. I can also do crafting quite easily while streaming, and just do some other PVM on this account. I think I might start doing raids on my Dead Hardcore soon, just to get the deck scroll maybe, because you don't want a PVM unless you have a deck scroll, honestly. It makes a big difference. Not only is it faster to kill something, but you do more damage per dart, so you're technically using less darts, less scales, and all that shit, so, and less prayer, I guess, if you care about that. So it's quite important to have a dex for sure. I am quite happy with the 3 I have in my bank and the 1 that I have right now. It's pretty nice. Oh, and if you guys haven't started planning your chronos or whatever the seed is called, it is the most overpowered thing in the game in terms of farming. You will sometimes do herb runs every like 30 minutes. Well, not every 30 minutes, but sometimes you'll farm your shit and you'll do another herb run in like 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know who designed it, but just start abusing it until they potentially nerf it, which has always been my motto. Alright, let me see if I get any rangers, mate. Oh, mate, that's a lot of shit. Holy crap. Alright. Alright, they also recently on the QA, I heard that they discussed making it so you can take the pages from clue scrolls and burn them and get burnt pages for like the Tome of Fire. Very Iron Man type of update. Wait, was that my last page? Hold on. There's actually a chance that was my last page. Oh, shit. Now, I believe they did a poll or a straw poll on stream, and it was like 80% no to that update, which is completely understandable. The past few months and years even, they really have catered to Iron Man more than I think most Iron Man ever expected. It's getting to feel like almost like a main account where just everything is very simple and there's really not too many grinds. The most grindy thing is doing a herb run every 5 minutes. But I don't really discuss the updates too much. I don't really know why. I kind of just obviously understand that over time things will get easier. I've already kind of lived through that with RS3, obviously. Most things you really can't prevent. Obviously, I wish there was a bit more restriction on just flat out complete overpowered updates, especially with the quality of life month that we just kind of had. There's still quite a few things that they completely miss when it comes to quality of life. A very small example I just recently went by is doing Mage Training Arena. You still need a progress hat with you in your inventory, and if you forget it, you got to go back to get it. You can't claim it while you're at Mage Training Arena. I mean, that's a pretty good quality of life update, but I don't know, man. Or just remove the fucking hat. Who the hell looks at the hat, dude? Now, obviously, throughout the year, they work on quality of life updates here and there. Every poll, maybe once in a while, has a few things in there. But yeah, kind of a lot of things that are still needing quality of life updates, I would say, that we didn't really get because they were too focused on doing a lot of overpowered stuff, I guess. Alright, that's pretty quick, actually. I would like to one day get Rangers. 372. Oh, boy. Yeah, I haven't done much on this account. It's getting harder and harder to even make progress videos on it because obviously I'm not playing as much. Man, I sound like a friend right now, don't I? Don't worry though, I'm not getting abused by any girl. Whoa, just kidding, bro. How you doing? Hold on, I just realized you can make your mage tab look like this. This means when you telegrab Zammy Wines, you could not misclick on the Cami teleport anymore. You know what? I would almost call that a quality of life update, but more like by accident. That's actually pretty cool. I just realized that. I don't really telegrab Zammies at all. I have quite a few from like the, I think 400 KQ kills I did or some shit. But whenever I eventually run out, I'm going to have to do that, I think. You can't left click this yet, can you? Okay, you still got to do this. Oh, and shout out to RuneLight for making this the fucking complete joke that it is, dude. This is great. Oh, and something that I should probably discuss, because it's kind of been like the elephant in the room, or at least I can kind of tell, my energy on my videos for my newbie account are just completely, I mean, obviously this video is completely dead to you, but I'm just trying to chill and talk, I guess. But I originally did, you guys are all right, I did say originally when my hardcore dies, my newbie one, I would just continue PVMing on it, and that was the whole point of the account. I guess I never factor in dying to a disconnection. The energy just feels completely different dying to it. I feel a bit more annoyed, and like I didn't even get to see how far I could get with it, which kind of sucks, because if it never died, I would probably not PVM on this account I'm playing on right now, which means it would probably never die. But I don't know, there's something about PVMing while being a hardcore that just makes it 10 times more interesting than on a regular Iron Man. Maybe it's the fact that every Iron Man's already got all the items, and it's not really unique if you have a bunch of items on an Iron Man, but on a hardcore it is unique. But at the same time, the entire game mode is a complete joke. It's designed around, you know, disconnecting and losing it. I mean, there's very few hardcores that have actually genuinely died because of their own fault. So the game mode itself is great, but it's very flawed in terms of how you can lose your status, obviously. I'm definitely not a fan of giving hardcore lives. I know RS3 you can purchase a few lives before your account's fully gone, as a hardcore at least. Originally I laughed at that idea, but then I realized every hardcore is dying to a DC, and every time I see it happen, I just keep thinking, dude, it almost seems like hardcore lives would kind of fix this, but obviously if you die to your own mistake, you're still a hardcore then with extra lives, so that's kind of ruins the whole point of it, and it ruins the name. But the name itself isn't very legit, because you can never die by your own mistake and still not be a hardcore, so I guess that kind of goes both ways. You could say, well, if you have lives, that's not really hardcore. That defeats the point. It does, but dying to a disconnection kind of defeats the purpose as well, so you can either pick one, I guess. Holy shit, do you need Graceful for this place? Jesus, I need a stamina boost, dude. What the fuck? I might have to get Graceful. But yeah, the more and more I see of hardcores dying to a DC, maybe it's just a sympathy thing where I just feel bad and I wish that they would still be a hardcore, but I guess it's just part of the game mode. It shouldn't be, but it is, and I don't think they're ever going to have an ideal way to change it. I don't think they care enough either. In fact, why would they care? I mean, the sooner you die, the sooner you spend more money on a new account to be a hardcore again, so it's like, maybe it's a business move why they don't come up with a good idea to change it. I'm such an idiot for saving this room last. I gotta do 480 points here, dude. That's disgusting. Alright, the good thing about this wand now, and I know it's obviously a bit helpful in Inferno. Obviously Tebow is the most helpful in Inferno, I would say. Not really a wand, but Master Wand, Kodai, very big difference. Obviously the Kodai does not, or it does have DPS damage, whereas the Master Wand doesn't have DPS damage, so it just has accuracy, in case people don't know that, I guess. And I think the Kodai is 28 mage attack and defense, actually, which is quite high. I've always said Kodai is extremely overpowered for what it is. I mean, if you think about people going out of their way to get things like Ancestral and the Deep Wildy Cape and like the Bracelet, that's 5, 11, 13, yeah. You have 13% mage increase with a Bracelet, full Ancestral, and a Cape. Or you could just get a Kodai and upgrade at 15% damage. It's a big chunk. It also means mage damage increase is insanely high for where it used to be. I'm not sure what the damage boost is if we have, what, is it 10 for an occult necklace, I think? I don't even know, actually. 10 plus the bracelet's 15, plus the wand is 30, plus the outfit is 36, and the cape is 38? Is that 38% damage increase while doing mage? Holy shit. I don't think there's any shields that boost your damage for mage, but just the accuracy with like the arcane, so that's interesting. Alright, someone's gonna mention the Tome of Fire. I just thought I'd tell you to go fuck yourself, thank you. But yeah, the meta for Iron Man Slayer's definitely changed, I'm pretty sure now, unless they nerf farming contracts one day, which they very well might, but I don't think they actually care enough to nerf them. I'm assuming they see a lot of people enjoying it, a lot of people are doing farming contracts, it's making a lot of people do farming, which I guess was the initial point of it. So they probably don't see a point in nerfing it, because they're happy with the outcome of, you know, people doing what they wanted them to start doing. So Obviously, from the overpowered standpoint, it's extremely overpowered for the meta change, I guess. If they ever make it so you can only do a certain amount of contracts a day, that might be... Actually, fuck that. That'd be annoying. That's like a daily thing. I hate more dailies. No thank you. But I am hoping... I mean, Jax doesn't learn too often from their mistakes, but I'm hoping they've learned now that an update, if you don't fix it in the first month or two, you really should never touch it ever again unless some other issue comes up with it. So I'm hoping I can record this clip happily and say it's never going to be nerfed. It's already been a few months, but you know Jax, bunch of idiots sometimes. And yeah, they might nerf it a year from now, who knows. So as my motto goes, abuse it until it's nerfed, as always, because you can't trust Jax, dude. Though I'm not too mad with the Slayer update on it. I mean, I'm happy with how many neck reels I've melee'd. I have so much seeds from that. So I'm kind of happy that I melee'd enough. I don't melee. People say it two different ways. I don't really care. You get the. And I do know that the neck reels and catacombs actually do drop. They drop some seeds, not many. Obviously, like one Slayer task, you might get like 5 seeds or some shit, which is like very little compared to what you normally would get. But if the way farming contracts stay the way they currently are, then yeah, you can probably just start barraging all your Slayer for a Iron Man, which essentially makes it a main account, which is what I was trying to get away from. But I guess it's all right. I'm currently 70 almost. Yeah, 70 most Slayer almost. So I've killed 100 and something thousand neck reels in the Slayer tower, maybe like 110 or 20,000. I'm not too sure. But the rest of my XP, I probably can get away with doing catacomb barraging. I just don't know. I mean, if they nerf it, obviously, then I'm screwed. I also did skip most of my Smoke Devils going up towards the Slayer ranks, so I think I only killed like maybe 15,000 Smoke Devils at 70 mil Slayer, so I definitely have a lot of barraging ahead of me that I can do. I think I'm mostly good on farming. My Herblore XP I think is 43 mil once I use my banked XP, or 45. I'm not too sure how much I have banked. If anyone paused the video when I showed you guys my tab and you want to calculate it, you go for it. I think there's 8,000 Lance in there that I'm not going to, or the Dwarfs. There's 12,000 Dwarfs in there that I'm never going to do. I'll probably wait till I become a regular Iron Man, and then I'll maybe do KQ for the Dwarfs, I think. Or I'll just telegrab them, but I'd rather just do KQ, I think, go for the pet maybe or something. So the next thing I probably should discuss is my YouTube channel, I guess. This isn't like a friend update, though. I know he's been having some trouble as well with his YouTube, more for personal reasons. Mine's just because I'm a lazy cunt, and well, I'm not lazy actually. That's the wrong way of putting it. I don't necessarily enjoy making like a useless video, even though I guess a ramble video is technically useless, but most people enjoy them. It's like a podcast type of thing, but I guess it's solo, which is normally how I roll the past 25 years, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I probably should upload videos that I just want to make and upload just for the sake of having a video out there. But I normally just don't bother doing it. I just stick with the progress videos, I guess. I could do different stuff, but I just don't really know. But yeah, so the progress videos on the Iron Man, obviously they've slowed down, mostly because like I said, I'm not playing. Well, I mean, I'm still playing a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I do a bunch of raids on this account you're watching, and that takes up most of my day right now. I do very little skilling on my other account, so there's no progress. And the PVMing I'm doing on it, I've got no drops, so there's no clips from that. There's literally nothing. So I think I did 200 Sire with no drops, 150 Zambi with a Steam Battle Staff, so there's a good, 20 hours of doing shit. Not 20 hours, but there's a bunch of hours of doing shit and getting a 3-second clip, so you can kind of understand why ideally as a progress video type of person it takes forever to make progress videos, which is why streaming has been a lot just better in general, because I can still be part of like the community and still not be like irrelevant like DVS or some shit, but I can still be there and do my own thing. And yeah, fucking guy. Now I do know that most people actually like I'm fully aware that most people want me to continue the account and just see like a completionist type of Iron Man thing. And I'm completely for that, but the feeling of the hardcore PVMing is just a lot more exciting, I guess. I don't really know. I guess because there's so many Iron Man already that are going for completion, and they're so far ahead that it almost feels like it's kind of meh. In terms of making a new hardcore, which I've been asked many times, I don't know if I'm ready for that. It normally takes a few months to even consider doing it. On top of that, I really don't know how I feel about uploading another progress video on a new hardcore. Now, if I did that, maybe I would just make it extremely like long progress video, or just put a bunch of progress in it or something. So it's not that many spams of videos. It's more of just, here's this, do a whole bunch of shit, and then show at the very ending. So it would be like 2 weeks of progress in a video or some shit, which is a lot of progress when you're low level. But I'm just kind of feel bad for how many progress videos I've made on a brand new hardcore. Not my fault that they've died. Only the one time I went AFK and it died. But the other two, the other one. How many have I made? I don't even know, dude. The last one disconnected. The other one, I went AFK. And then obviously the main one, which I'm on right now, is still alive. So I've done a total of 3 progresses on Iron Man, and I just I don't know how I feel about 4. Now, that's gonna make people ask me about the whole freaking Snowflake Ultimate Iron Man bullshit. I don't think Ultimate's ever been something I want to try. Not because it's hard or something. It just looks like it's a complete opposite of what I want to do. I've suggested a long time ago for them to add. I mean, I guess the collection log kind of already does it for you, but they should make a thing for Ultimates, I think, where it's like a shrine where you can take armor and put it in there, and you can never take it back out. That way, you know, obviously it looks cool on an Iron Man to have like 5 armamental tops, 1 leg because you went dry, and 5 helmets. But on an Ultimate, I'm assuming you gotta drop all those items because it's just not worth keeping them. But if you had a shrine, you could just put them up there or keep them. You can never take them back out, but it would look really cool. So it would be like a bank tab, but you can't remove anything from it. So that would be pretty cool for Ultimates, I think. They could put all their extra cool, unique items in there and just, you know, never remove them, obviously. If you wanted to remove them, maybe you would lose your Ultimate status and become, I guess, a regular Iron Man, maybe? I guess? Would that be the thing? I don't really know. You could obviously downgrade from Ultimate to regular Iron Man. You can't do Ultimate to Hardcore, obviously, or Hardcore to Ultimate. You can only do Hardcore to regular Iron Man, so, yeah. Now, I normally would say you can't really judge something until you've tried it. I'm going to just remove that statement from the whole Ultimate Iron Man thing, alright? That don't count. Obviously, I have a bit of knowledge of RuneScape, so I can tell how much more different it's going to be in Ultimate. Would I enjoy it? I just don't know. It just doesn't really fit with what I ideally like doing on an Iron Man or just an account in general. 200 mil all is definitely not ideal on it. It's more than a lifetime, probably. Obviously, with updates getting quicker and quicker, it's still probably not possible. Most Ultimates right now probably just go for fast stats, and then they're going to stop once they realize they have to spend 80 million hours doing like 1 skill. So, I mean, it'd be fun to get some XP on it, maybe PVM might be fun on it. You can get some, I mean, it's not, I mean, it's no different than getting items on an Iron Man, though, I guess. It's just you have a bit more items in your inventory while you're PVMing. Like, I don't know, is it that much different? I don't really know. Alright, give me a good loot now, please, thank you. Whew, I already have that. I don't know if I have the white headband. But yeah, I don't know if I see myself doing Ultimate long term, probably. That's probably the reason why I also don't want to start it. It looks like it takes even longer. Like, Iron Man already takes like 4 months to get into PVMing. I could only imagine Ultimate would take you 8 months. Like, do I want to spend that much more time just to technically do the same-ish kind of thing? I don't know if it's my thing. I'm also a very big skill hopper. I've always been that way. By that I mean I do one skill, once I get bored of it, I switch to a different skill to never technically burn out. On an Ultimate, it seems like you kind of have to stick to it. Now, I could probably do it, but as a content creator, I probably wouldn't want to do it, because, I mean, it just looks kind of like, yeah. Obviously, Settled's series is a completely different example than what I was discussing. I'm talking about going for 99 Herblore. You kind of have to just stick to Herblore. I don't think he's going for 99 Herblore anytime soon. So if he ever does, he'll be doing the same content for the next 5 months in a row just to get 70 Herblore. Obviously, I'm just using Herblore as a placeholder. I mean, it could be any skill, but you get the point. So it's not, I don't know. Could I make an Ultimate and not go for max or not go for PVM stuff. I mean, I don't know what else I would do on it. It's just kind of how my mindset's always been. So Ultimate, probably not for me. I don't think it is. Will it ever be? Maybe when I'm completely... I mean, I don't know. Maybe if this hardcore dies, I will lose a lot of motivation for it. And I might consider doing something else. That's always going to be a possibility. Whether it be making an Ultimate, or maybe I feel like making a new hardcore. I don't know. I've ideally thought if this one does die, I'll probably make a new hardcore and just try to go skilling. I mean, not skilling, PVMing on it, but obviously you gotta do like 4 months of skilling first, and then you can jump into PVMing. But if I die to a DC, I'll probably not want to do that either. So if I die to my mistake, I'll probably feel like making a new one just to, revive that and try to fix it. But if I die to a disconnection, there's no way of really fixing that, so the motivation kind of just goes away. Now, in terms of updates that have happened to the game, what is there? Oh, yeah, there was a small discussion about Jack's. I think Mod Kieran tweeted about it, probably just asking for thoughts and opinions. Maybe not something he agreed with himself. I think it was the kind of like a preset idea, which I assumed would be eventually one day polled. I don't think they're polling it, but I think one day, maybe 2 years. It seems like over time people are become more and more okay with things. I mean, when this fucking game came out, we thought God Wars might not be a smart idea. So if we were to remove God Wars now, people would definitely not be happy. So I think over time we get a bit more lenient on things. So maybe right now people aren't okay with presets. Maybe a year from now they are. Obviously, look at the bank update. The withdrawal X option one was quite controversial. It seems like nobody right now complains about it though. Everyone uses it, everyone likes it. Ideally it just kind of made it so you don't have to use mouse keys or AHK while you're banking anymore, which is, I guess, a good thing. I mean, if you can remove that with something like that, obviously it's a bit less effort, but it's too minimal for me to really care about. Obviously, though, to point out, a bunch of small updates put together will feel very different, even if it's not a big update. So that, plus a bunch of other small updates, might feel a bit too easy, and, easy escape type of shit. But I, for one, am definitely in favor of the bank update. Withdrawal X, preset-wise, I think they were discussing it. I believe it was going to be just your inventory, not what you're wearing. So pretty much really big for, like, I guess, I don't know if PKers would really... I mean, for PK, you'd want your gear to be there too, but I guess you would just gear up and then press the preset to get your inventory set up. I'm kind of in the middle with the preset idea. Obviously, there should be a cooldown on it so people can't abuse it for bank skills. That's already easy enough. Is it too much of an update? I don't think people would quit over presets, that's for sure. Would they quit eventually over a bunch of small updates? Maybe, who knows. But I'm not completely against it. I've always thought it would be ideal. A bit of an easy escape thing, yes, for sure. I know that people do take a lot of pride in making their bank specifically look the way it is so they can take items out quickly, and they take pride in it, I guess. So I understand why they feel the need to protect that. You wouldn't need to do that anymore if you were to have presets. So currently what RuneLite has is already quite useful, actually, with like the whole tab thing. You can kind of make a tab already without it messing up your bank. So it's already quite convenient. I don't know if we need to go a step further. If it happened, I wouldn't care. I would probably just get used to using it and probably eventually enjoy it, which I think most people would feel that way. RuneScape's a very weird game where the easier it gets, the less happy people are. So, with most games, well, not easier, but more convenient. Whereas I would assume most other games might not be that same way. RuneScape players are probably quite stingy among the most of gamers. The most gamers are quite stingy, aren't they? But this is a grindy game, and making it easier is the opposite of what the game is based on. So I can understand people being against, easy escape type of updates. So it's logical. But I wouldn't care if it happened. To be fair, I haven't voted on polls in probably about a year or two. I'm not sure why Jagex removed polling on the website, but they did. I don't know the reasoning behind it at all. It was the dumbest move I could ever think of. Because right now, if you want to vote, you have to go in game and waste time doing it. Not that I care that much about efficiency shit. It's just when I play RuneScape, I like to browse other websites. What a perfect way to vote on polls by using, a fucking different web page and voting while playing RuneScape. Instead of watching porn and playing RuneScape, I'm voting and playing. Like, I don't know why they removed it. I don't have a clue. Whatever logical reason could be behind it. Oh, and the viewing the results on the web page instead of in-game is also different. On the web page, it looks like something is failing, but on inside the game, it shows that it's passing. So they need to change that too, where like it shows this is the current stats, in-game it is passing. Because if you look at the actual results for the main page, it looks like something isn't passing. It's like 67% yes, 15% no, then whatever percent for other, but that's actually passing in-game, even though it says 67% yes, which is not 75% obviously. So I don't know why they haven't tried to fix that either. It's very sloppy. It also just raises more confusion. I've seen people on Twitter like, wait, how did this pass? It failed. They were probably looking at the polls on the webpage, not the actual RuneScape game. So, get your shit together, Jax. What the hell, dude? But yeah, going back on the preset thing, I don't really have a solid opinion. I mean, I probably would vote yes to it. I think honestly, I don't really know. I don't think I would go into the game, use a preset and be like, wow, this game's just too easy, I'm gonna log out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel that way about it. It would probably become very convenient and very just nice to use in the future. If you're switching from going one boss to a different boss, you can have, a preset ready to go, and you don't got to spend more time, Plus, obviously, there is a bit of a, if you forget an item, it's a bit annoying, but it's just part of the game. I understand that. If you have a preset, you're probably not going to forget any items. And I don't know. I guess it just depends on how people view the game and what they value more, which is what the split vote will probably be about. I think it was probably near 50-50 on Twitter. 50% liked it, 50% didn't. It probably wouldn't pass a poll, I don't think. Which probably sucks for people like maybe PKers, I would assume, and maybe PVMers. Because I could only imagine if you die in the wilderness, it would probably be quite nice to just grab a preset and just get ready to go again. Or if you're re-gearing, if you're like, I don't know, if you're doing clan type of PKing where you all need to go and re-gear or regroup somewhere, you can just go to the bank, press the button, and teleport wherever your location is. So it'd probably be very convenient for them. But yeah, speaking of PKers, you guys don't get no updates. Dude, a preset would be like one of the biggest updates for PvPers in the past like 2 years probably. And yeah, it's probably not even going to work. Or pass, that is. Oh, and there's something I never mentioned a very long time ago, but probably a year and a half ago, Rev Caves was quite controversial. I made a few videos on that. In fact, I think that's kind of where my rambling-ish videos start. I mean, I've always kind of made ramble videos, but those ones did quite well. Yeah, I never even discussed the Rev drop stuff now that happened, the bow and the mace and the staff, I think. I'm glad they did a pretty good update actually on the Revs, I think. Those three weapons being useful in the wilderness for killing wildy bosses, etc., that's actually very ideal. So as you can see, by making sure their bullshit they wanted to initially put in the game didn't pass, they came out with a better outcome, which is those three weapons that came in the game. They're very useful. The fact that you can kill Revs while being skulled and get extra loot now is also a really good idea, I think. I'm not a big fan of the mace being in the game. I don't really like where you can bring a clan just to mace one guy and get their +1 item. It's just the mechanic of it isn't too. I don't know. You're kind of defenseless. I guess just don't be in the wilderness or don't be in multi. I mean to say, but it just seems kind of lame. I don't know. I've never been in favor of like a D spear spec with like multiple mace specs and then removing the person's prayer. But I'm obviously not a PKer, so I don't know if that's something they most likely enjoy in the wilderness or not, but just seems like a very unfair way of losing your item. Because they can obviously push you to multi with a D spear and you don't really have any chance to move around, so just seems like a weird friggin' thing. And with things like the dual arena attacks, we're able to kind of have more updates now that bring money in the game. I know that this was something I heard some other person bring up where, we have enough money sinks in the game, we don't need to focus on more. I don't think that could be any more wrong, in my opinion. I think as many money sinks as we can have, it just means we have more room for more updates that most of the time do revolve around bringing money in the game. I mean, Hydra Boss, for example, just about every item is an alchable item. Where if we had a bunch of money sinks already in the game, it's not that big of a deal. Most of the time, an easy update for Jax is definitely just sticking a bunch of alchables on the table and just calling it there. Obviously, I am in more favor of drop tables like the Gowers dungeon bosses, where you spend a long time and then you get the one item and it's rewarding. But obviously, that's hard to do for every boss because those items are also best in slot items. So you can't just keep bringing best in slot items into the game every day. So it's probably more practical to have bosses drop a bunch of alchables and maybe 1 or 2 significant drops that make it worth doing. So yeah, if there's room for a GP sync or even an item sync, most importantly, just do it. I mean, it just means we don't have to worry about money issues later on, right? If we stop doing it now and we continue updating the game with more money-giving bosses or skills, it might become an issue eventually. So just keep doing it. But yeah, dual ring attacks is gigantic, I would say, in terms of the money sink. I knew it would be anyways, because most people do stake billions of GP. So, you know, that 1% makes a huge ass difference. And I know that the discussion of the GE being taxed has kind of come up as well. I don't really know how many people flip in the game still. I assume it's still a big market for flipping. If they did a GE tax, you couldn't flip anymore, probably. So, unless they made it so maybe when you buy an item, you have like a few hours to sell it without a GE tax, maybe, or something. I don't really know. I haven't thought about it long enough to have any good opinions on it, but it would definitely ruin flipping. So maybe if they put like a limit of, I don't know, once you buy an item, you have a few hours. I don't know. That might be too hard to code even though. Though I am definitely hoping that if they ever do come out with something better than Bandos, it's going to require Bandos to upgrade it. I'm hoping they kind of learned over time that's a smart way of doing it. Could you imagine if pegs that were dropped from Serb you didn't need Ranger boots to make them, you just needed to get the peg drops and that's its own boot? What would the price of Rangers be right now? Literally like a few mil. And they're worth 35 mil because of that one smart idea of an update. So never be afraid to do things like that. It's extremely smart and worth it in the long run. Who the hell would do medium clues anymore if you didn't need to get, like there'd be no need of Ranger boots, right? Because the Pegasian Crystal would just be its own boot. Obviously, it didn't do too much for things like the Infinity boots or the Dragon boots especially, but that's because they're a lot easier to come into the game, a lot quicker as well. So it's a different comparison though, but I'm very happy they did stuff like that back in the day. Hopefully they continue doing stuff like that when they upgrade the best in slot armors eventually. They could have technically done it with things like Ancestral, with like Arums, but it's not that necessary, I guess. And obviously the Master one and Kodai is also another great example. So I've always been in favor of that. I think probably 8 to 9 years ago, I had that idea where just you should always upgrade from the most recent best in slot to the newest best in slot. It just seems like it makes sense. I mean, if they ever come up with another best in slot range boot, I'm hoping it's an upgrade to the Pegasian boots. Otherwise, you would kill. I mean, it's already no profit from Serb, obviously. The crystal's not worth much. But it would kill mediums, and it would kill the crystal even more from Serb. So it would just kill 2 different things. Not the greatest example, because the crystal's worth like 50k, but let's use Kodai, I guess, for example. If there's a better wand in the future, I'm hoping it requires a Kodai, because that means it requires a Master Wand still, and the Kodai butt plug, so that'd be smart. The crystal one was like 50k value. It's already kind of ruined, honestly, but I mean, the prims are worth a lot, so it's kind of just an unlucky drop, I guess, but once you get prims, you kind of make up for all the unluckiness you've gotten. Unless you're my hardcore and you've got no prims. Alright, what else is there to discuss? I think I discussed most things. I mean, I didn't really have anything on my mind when I started the video, so I kind of just rambled on while I did the most boring content in game. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you watch the entire thing, I'm not going to make you type anything, but ask me some questions maybe below if you want me to discuss a topic or something for the next Ramble-ish video. I don't know if anyone watched the whole thing though, probably 4 people, so what's up? But yeah, have a good day and goodbye.